Hey boys and girls, so this is one of the ways that you can make a timeline online that is going to look like a real timeline. This website is called Sutori, and I already have everybody signed up for it. I will put a link in Google Classroom, and this is just to help you go over how to be able to use it, and you're going to get to play with that today. So when you go to Sutori, you would click on Stories, and you're going to create a story. Now it gives you lots of different backgrounds. We don't need any of that kind of stuff. We're just going to use a blank one because the other ones already have things set into it. At this point, you're going to go ahead and put your title into it. So Nachos is the one that I'm going to be using for right now. And we would put a heading in there. In a little bit, I will go on and actually I'm going to put his name in there, Ignacio Nacho, because remember that was a nickname. Naya was his name. Now, once you do that, if you see how my mouse is moving on this little tiny line here and it has a little plus, that means I'm going to insert something. Now, this timeline is not big at all because I don't have anything on it. So when I hit that plus, it comes up with different options. You can see things like text where I will type it in, links, image, video, audio, lots of different stuff in here. Our main focus is going to be image and text. Possibly the did you know would be something else you can use. So I'm going to start out with a text. And that just means I'm going to type some information in. I have my book here with me, so that way I can be able to have actual dates. So Ignacio was born and I need to make sure I put that date in there. So he was born in 1895. And all I need to do is click anywhere else, and there it is on my timeline. Now, I don't know a date of when his parents passed away, but I can put his parents died, and he went to live with a foster family. Okay, and so now if you notice when I click on it, I have these little tools up here. That little short stack there means I can move it. So if I put something in and said, oh wait, this happened first, I can go ahead and move it, but we know that his parents did not die before that. I can always go back and click on something if I wanted to add to it. In Mexico, if I look up, I can find the city, and I can put that in. Okay, I can also, when I'm on here, I can also change the color of the dots and the color of the background. Okay. And that's just that little dot there. Now you probably want to remain somewhat consistent and either go in an order or rainbow color, depending on what you're doing. I think that would be great for the crayon one, but for your regular ones, you kind of want to remain consistent. So as you can see, you would just go through here. Each time I add something to it, it adds another little spot on my timeline. Now if I want to add an image, what I will need to do, I am going to then do a search for Nachos, which was the book. I will look up an image. Those nachos look delicious, but I'm going to use the image. Now I am going to save that image. Name it so I know what to find it. It's going to go right to my desktop. And on mine it comes right down here, so when I go back to this and I want to insert an image, I can just drag it right over. If I didn't have that, I would be able to just do a search for it on there. Okay, so I might move this down farther later on to show that the book was made. But again, I'm just going to go through his story and be thinking about some of those main events of what happened to him. And even if I do not know the date of any of those pieces of information, I can still go ahead and put them in order in which they happen. For example, I know that shortly, a bit after his parents died, when he was like a teenager, he ended up working in a restaurant. He learned to cook from his foster mom, and he worked at a restaurant. So I'm just going to put got a job in a restaurant, age 23. It did see that in the book, so I'm going to, again, it's just, I can move these things around if I need to. And as my timeline grows, as I put different things in here, I will be able to drag them around, and it's going to make my timeline a little bit longer. Once that's all done, I can present it, and it kind of looks like a little bit of a slideshow, where we would see those things in order, pictures and everything. Or you can see it on this timeline right here. So what I'd like you to do, I would like you to just play around with this. Log into it. I would like you to play around with one and try to make one for the Crayon Man. I had done that with mine. I'm going to come back over. And so when I go to my stories, I have one here for the Crayon Man. If you're wondering how we put this background picture in here, all you need to do is click on that spot and say edit. Now I am just going to search, so if I just put in nachos, delicious, and I think I'm going to do the restaurant since he did end up having a restaurant called Nachos. So it's uploading it, and then I can move it around a little bit. It's going to say, oh, let's put it just like that. Save it. And there we go. And that's it. Right. So give it a try. This one is not going to be graded. This is not a part of your end biography. This is just for you to play around with this bit of technology on making a timeline. When it comes to you doing your biography project, you can choose to do a timeline on here, but there will be some other choices. This is just to help you become more familiar with it. So play around with it. You're not going to break anything. You're not going to make any mistakes. Every mistake can be fixed. All right. Thanks, guys.